What's up guys, welcome to the channel. It's T Ultra here, and today I'm going to show you how I went 12-0 in the month of January. So just in case you guys do not know, when you go 12-0 in January, you get this pink diamond Dirk card. It's pretty nice, 99 offense, 90 defense, 11 Hall of Fame badges, 18 golds, and you also get this pink diamond point guard shooting guard Baron Davis from earlier in the year, 99 offense, 95 defense, 8 Hall of Fame badges, 34 golds, and 9 silvers. So hopefully next month we can get this Clyde card because I did miss out on getting that one when it was available. So hopefully we have that card available at some point in the future so I can get this Galaxy Opal Julius Erving. But yeah guys, this method, honestly, it worked really well for me. I kept trying a bunch of different lineups. I tried really low overall. I tried super high overall with all like my best rated cards. And I just kept, honestly, I was struggling to even win more than a few games in a row. On the screen, I have the results of all 12 games that I played. And once I started using this lineup, I'm pretty sure I just won 12 in a row. I don't, maybe I had to restart once, like right at the beginning, but I'm pretty sure I just knocked all 12 of them out right away. The first game, I don't remember the score. I did that one like separately, but then the next 11, I did them all at once. As you can see, there were number 2 and 7. I won only by 10. The 7th was a rage quit, so I could have ended up winning by more. But as you can see, like none of the matchups were really even that close. A lot of them I won pretty easily. So as you can see, I have quite a decent amount of lineups. I have 7. Ironically, I didn't use this unlimited one. I can kind of show that to you. When I tried this, I didn't have this Baron Davis or this Paul Millsap. A lot of these cards are new from when I first tried using it, but in essence, I was using a lot of like my highest rated cards. Like I'd use this Bob Cousy, this Desmond Mason, this Isaiah Ryder. I used Tony Allen a little bit, Draymond Green, Artis Gilmore, Larry Bird, and honestly, that did not work very well for me because these cards are not that amazing for being diamonds and pink diamonds and all that. And I would be matched up against really good players because I technically had really highly rated cards, but I would be playing a lot of teams that had amazing pink diamonds and diamonds compared to my pretty mediocre ones. Like I said, like a lot of these cards that are in here, like this Baron Davis, Dirk, Marc Gasol, weren't in there when I was playing. I was starting Peja and he really wasn't working for me. So yeah, I decided to change it up a little bit. So I ended up making a low overall team. It's not a bunch of bronzes. It's not like, that wasn't the main objective of it. I wanted to use cards that I was very comfortable with, sort of like I did in my last video and about going 12-0. And there's going to be a couple repeat cards in here. This lineup is super cheap, honestly. Like you can easily afford it no matter what your skill level is. And here it is. Are you ready? Hope you're ready. It's going to knock your socks off. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wow.
Boom, there it is. Like I said, literally nothing flashy about it, but I will say this, it worked amazingly well. I had no trouble going 12-0. I did not go up against any cheesers whatsoever. Honestly, I played a lot of teams. Like my last 3 or 4 games were basically, the game just crashed. Oh, of course. Taking a moment. So annoying. La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. Sorry, my internet in here is absolutely awful. I normally play with a wired connection, but I'm recording in my room, and I'm just using the Wi-Fi, and it's absolutely awful. But here's the lineup again. So I use this Darren Fox, 84 overall, nothing super special. Terrence Ferguson, Jonathan Isaac, Kristaps Porzingis, Karl Anthony Towns, and I do have this Mirsan coming off the bench, and then I have all bronzes. I did cycle in these bronzes once in a while just to give my guys a rest, but I would I'd use most of my timeouts, most of the games, and if I did bring in a bronze, I would try to have it so I would just have one bronze in there at a time, kind of stagger the minutes of all the starters that I have in there, so I didn't have to have too many bronzes in at once. But yeah, the main point here is that I'm really good with these cards. I've learned to use them really well. I know their releases very well, and I used Karl Anthony Towns and Kristaps Porzingis because they can both shoot pretty well. I love Karl Anthony Towns' release. I can time it very well. I got to know Kristaps' release a lot better after using him for a while. And I've noticed that a lot of the lower rated power forwards in the game that could shoot were also very small. So I used Porzingis because he had a pretty low overall, but he could shoot and he was very tall. He had the size. Same with Karl Anthony Towns. He can get bullied around a little bit, but that's kind of why I have Mirsan, just in case I come up against some monstrosity of a center like Mirsan himself. Then I can put him in there and he can defend down low for me. I also did just put him in to give Karl Anthony Towns a breather because I do like this Mirsan card just in general to use at times. I like this De'Aaron Fox card because he can shoot decently well. He's pretty fast. He's just a solid point guard for his overall. This Terrence Ferguson, I kind of like to have him handle the ball just as much as De'Aaron Fox because he's kind of, in my opinion, he's better at driving. He's a better contact finisher, at least that's what it seems like. Looking at Ferguson's stats, he has an 84 driving layup as well as a 95 driving dunk. So that's kind of why I like to use him handling the ball a lot because I like to do a lot of driving and kicking. I'll try to get past my defender and then dish it out to whoever's open if the help comes, and if not, I just dunk it, man. And then looking at De'Aaron Fox's attributes here, his driving layup is an 88, which is pretty, I think it was actually a little bit higher than Ferguson's, who had like an 84, but his driving dunk is a 59, and I don't know, he's 6'3", 175. Ferguson is 6'7", 190, so he's just a little bit bigger, but you can't go wrong with either one. They can both shoot, and they're both pretty good. I like them. And then this Jonathan Isaac card is really good. He's a great defender. His offense is only an 81 overall, but he can shoot really well, and he can finish pretty good. I mean, he's 6'10", 210, and he's so lanky. He's kind of like, he's like a light version of Giannis, honestly. Like, clearly he's not as good, but he really gets the job done, and I always would just put him on the opponent's best player. And like I said, when you use this lineup, you're not going to go against a team that has a bunch of good cards. At worst, you're going to see a lineup with one diamond, maybe one pink diamond, but everyone else on their team will be terrible. You know what I mean? Because the overall of his team is only a 78. So then you just put Jonathan Isaac on whoever that good card is, or if it's a pretty evenly matched team, you do the same thing. You put it on their best card. You pretty much shut them down. And even if you do go up against a card that has a pink diamond, that's their only player, you just focus on stopping him and you make the bronzes score. And, you know, that's if you play the game the right way, you play smart, you're going to win that game more often than not. I do use the Nets playbook, and I still have these same jerseys from the last video. I am a Timberwolves fan, so I got the Target Center and Timberwolves logo. I just like these jerseys for some reason, I don't know why. And I use the Nets playbook, so I'm sure all of you know for offline gameplay, Quick Through STS is a great play. I do use that online just to see if people can stop it. A lot of times people can't. They have no idea what to do, and you can just kind of spam that play. I do still switch it up a decent amount, do some pick and rolls, pick and fades, get some easy transition baskets, but that play can come in clutch if your opponent is kind of new to the game, which is more likely if you use a lineup like this. And even if I'm doing that play, it spaces the floor, so even if I don't actually run that play, it clears the entire floor, so then I can drive to the basket easier. I found that if you try to drive to the basket when you have, like, you know, a standard like 4 out or even a 3 out, the center honestly just gets in the way, and he brings his defender right to where you're driving, and it disrupts your driving lane, and then you have nowhere to pass it, and it's just kind of a cluster. So I feel like this is kind of just a strategy that worked for me, honestly. And then these are the minutes, obviously. Right here, I got them all playing the whole game, and then these two both play. And then I'll just sub these guys in whenever I feel like they need a breather. I'll use my timeouts. And then I use Steve Clifford as my coach because he gives a lot of good bonuses. He gives a 3-point bonus, ball handle, speed, perimeter defense. He helps Karl Anthony Towns with his interior defense and rebounding, which is awesome. I do have this Brad Stevens, but like I said, the best card isn't, like, the best rated card isn't always the best card to use because, you know, he's a better coach. He gives higher attributes, but it's kind of the things that, I mean, they matter, but I'd rather have the bonuses to the shooting more so than some of the aspects that this Brad Stevens card improves. He doesn't really help anyone with shooting, which I understand that's not the whole point of the game, but that is a huge part of it. Another great thing about using a lineup like this is it's super cheap. You don't have to spend your MT. So if you're trying to ball on a budget, that's another reason to use a team like this. Going through the lineup, De'Aaron Fox, his cheapest card right now is 750 MT. Terrence Ferguson is a free domination reward. Jonathan Isaac is going for about 2K. Kristaps Porzingis 800, Karl Anthony Towns 900, and that Mirsan card I believe is a token reward. He's a Sapphire, so he's only a few tokens, nothing really major. And then obviously all the bronzes are going to be cheap. You should already have, a bunch of bronzes on your team if you've been keeping them. If not, you can buy them for like pretty much nothing. But yeah, like I said, this is the lineup I decided to use. Like I said, I tried to use lineups with a bunch of good cards, and it just wasn't working for me because I kept playing these teams that had a bunch of like god cards, and they would even be full of like Galaxy Opals, and it's like, okay, well, they're pulling up from like half court. Meanwhile, I'm trying to like, I'm trying to score with like, what's his name? With like Bradley Beal and who is he? Bob Cousy, or like this Earl Monroe card. And it's like it just wasn't really working. Like they're diamonds, but they don't really play like it. And we crashed again. That's awesome. Try out a few sapphires, a few rubies. You could try some emeralds. I mean, if you can get good at using those cards and just play smart games, you're gonna go up against a lot of teams that are either not very highly rated. I didn't play any teams that were a lot better than mine. Maybe one that had a couple, maybe like a team of like, they had like a few rubies, and their rubies outnumbered my sapphires or whatever. But honestly, all the teams were pretty even. You'll play a team like that. You might play a team that has one really good card and the rest is terrible. And a lot of the teams you're going to be playing they're just new to the game. Like, it was like 3 of my last 4 games, I played teams that didn't have anything higher than an emerald. It was like a bunch of golds and maybe like 1 or 2 emeralds, and it was either like that Evo D Rose or the T-Mac that you get at the beginning of the game, or whichever evolution card you choose. So obviously they were pretty fresh and they didn't really know how to play that well. But now that I have some of these cards, I have Baron Davis, I have Stoudemire, I just picked up this Millsap, this Brook Lopez, I have Dirk, I heard this Marc Gasol center is pretty good. And I'm also currently working on evolving this Jeremy Lin as well as this Jason Kidd card. So hopefully I can actually get a number of good diamonds and pink diamonds that are actually worth using. And then the next time I make one of these videos, it'll be a little more exotic. But for now, I'm just showing you my budget squad, my low overall, and honestly, this worked a million times better than trying to use any other lineup. Like I said, I literally could not get to 12-0, and I used this lineup and I did it instantly. So if it worked for me, it should work for you. January is pretty much in the books. You have a little bit of time to cop that Dirk card, but it's pretty much over. You can use a lineup like this in February, obviously, so good luck if you're trying to, cop whatever card comes out in February from Unlimited. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. Please feel free to subscribe, like the video, comment if you have any questions or ideas for any other content you want to see. And I really appreciate you guys watching. So good luck in your future Unlimited games, and peace out.